Hi, my name is Ethan Floyd, and I help students and teachers of Latin who have studied some, maybe even all of the basics, and I help them to become better readers, writers, speakers, and even listeners of the Latin language through a combination of both language immersion and traditional grammar study techniques in order to help facilitate growth towards being able to interact more meaningfully with the large corpus of writings that we have in Latin spanning over 2,000 years. So maybe you have an interest in some of the classical works of Cicero, Virgil, Horace, or Ovid, or maybe you're interested in the early Christian writers, St. Jerome, St. Augustine, Lactantius, or even Tertullian. Maybe you have a theological, historical interest in the medieval Renaissance writers who are writing in Latin, or you're a parent looking for some kind of substitute or alternative for your children's Latin education at home. I can help with all of these. I have had a lot of unique experiences as a student of Latin, and I think that they've given me kind of a unique perspective and a unique skill set as an instructor of Latin. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself, how I learned Latin, so that you can get a better sense of what kind of instructor I am and where my skills lie as an instructor. I've been studying Latin now for over a decade. I took Latin for the first time when I was 17 years old. I think I was a senior in high school. And I studied for about a year, and I went on to go to a small liberal arts school in Wyoming called Wyoming Catholic College. And this school has a really unique Latin immersion program that is part of the required coursework for all students attending this school. The first 2 years of their time there, they take Latin immersion classes. So I got to do that for 2 years. During my time at Wyoming Catholic, I also went on 2 Latin immersion wilderness trips under the guidance of one of our Latin professors there at the school. And that was a lot of fun. I learned a lot on these trips. And it was there that I kind of cemented, I think, my knowledge of communication in Latin, not just speaking, but also listening. We did everything in Latin on those trips. We cooked in Latin, we planned our day in Latin. Wyoming Catholic College is also really unique because sometimes they offer the opportunity for students to write their senior thesis in Latin, which I did. I was able to write my senior thesis in Latin on the works of St. Bonaventure under the guidance of my Latin professor there, who was extremely helpful during that time. And I was really grateful to be able to have that experience. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun, and I learned a ton writing in Latin as well. After I graduated, I got married, and my wife and I moved to Spain for a year. We taught English there. And then we moved back to Texas, and I got a job as a Latin teacher at a public school in Texas. I taught at this school for 4 years, and I used what I had learned as a student back at Wyoming Catholic College and tried to do my best to implement those techniques that I had learned at school in my classroom. And I tried to run my classes in a kind of Latin immersion or semi-immersive environment, which was a lot of fun. And I learned a lot about Latin by being a teacher of Latin. Teaching really is kind of like learning twice. You have to learn how to understand it for yourself, but you also have to learn how to explain it clearly to someone else. And those are skills that I developed while teaching at this public school in Texas. Now I'm a full-time Latin tutor, and I make content online on social media platforms like YouTube and Instagram to help people who are trying to learn Latin. I also have a lot of free articles on my website, thelatinteacher.com. You can go there and read articles about learning Latin, about teaching Latin. We also offer Zoom classes, like group Zoom classes, if you're interested in learning how to communicate in Latin. I'll put the link down below for that. The schedule changes for that. And of course, we also offer one-on-one Latin tutoring if you're looking for something a little bit more personalized. Please, if you enjoy our content, consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell to notify you when new content is uploaded to YouTube. It really helps our channel out, and I would really appreciate it. So, best of luck to you learning Latin, and we'll see you in the next video.